I recently asked a rice ball specialist how I can improve at making them at home, and this is what she told me. When making one for the first time, follow a recipe. You don't know how it's supposed to taste until after you try it the traditional way. Only then you can break the rules to make it suit your taste buds. Speaking of taste, temperature is flavor. The rice should be warm, and the filling should not be straight from the fridge. Side note, the rice should always be warm. That's why homemade rice balls beat the ones you get at the store. Lastly, I asked how to make my favorite salmon and avocado rice ball better, and she said less is more. A lot goes into this rice ball. Add too much and the rice won't be able to keep its shape. I must say, this rice ball is looking so much better. I recently had the best rice ball of my life at a specialty shop in Japan, and the chef was kind enough to share some of their secrets with me. First, technique matters way more than the exact type of rice. Yes, it needs to be short grain rice, but pros spend less time choosing rice and more time dialing in their water and salt ratios. And almost nobody does this next step. After cooking, don't touch the rice. Leave the lid on for 15 minutes. It prevents the rice from having grains that are too wet or too dry, which leads to the next step. Texture is everything. Wrap it in seaweed or grill the outside because the best rice balls all have bite. I asked a rice ball expert how to make the perfect rice ball, and she shared one tip I was not expecting. First of all, people always complain to me about white rice being too boring. I was surprised to find out that you can simply mix the ingredients with the rice instead of just stuffing the rice ball. You actually get a more consistent bite this way, and you don't have to worry about adding too much or too little filling. Also, salt is your best friend. The reason most people suck at making them is because they always under-season the rice. If yours is a little bland after taking a bite, try sprinkling on more salt. The tip she gave me that instantly made my rice balls better is to not overwork the rice. Don't squeeze too hard, don't cook too long, everything should be done lightly, and you'll have the best rice ball of your life. I asked a famous rice ball expert for tips on how to make the perfect rice ball, and this is what she told me. Nothing beats hot rice with a cold filling. That contrast is why a freshly made rice ball tastes so much better. On the topic of taste, balance is key. Everyone wants to overstuff their rice ball thinking more is better, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Before you make a rice ball with meat, ask yourself, do you want a meatball or a rice ball? The last secret she shared with me was to add texture. Wrapping it in nori gives it a nice bite and keeps your hands clean, but you could totally grill it instead. That'll make your rice ball crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. What's your go-to rice ball filling? A rice ball specialist taught me how to make the perfect rice ball, and I'm gonna share all the secrets with you. Starting with what I think is the most important, don't overstuff them. You shouldn't try to turn it into a full course meal. Add just a little and spread it out so every bite is consistent, which leads to my next point. Rice balls don't need meat to be tasty. Think of the filling as a flavor enhancer for the rice. What can you do to make the rice taste as good as possible? I like to sprinkle salt from above the rice so it spreads evenly, but some people don't have a rice ball shaper. All you need to do is sprinkle salt on your hands before shaping the rice. And finally, adding a little filling on top not only makes it look better, but gives you that first bite of flavor right away. Now that you have all the secrets to making the perfect rice ball, what kind do you want to make? Be sure to let us know in the comment section and subscribe.